I'm at the pond at Balmoral Drive in Frimley Green. I've had quite a bit of communication from residents just wondering what's going on with this pond, because historically, and certainly for as long as I can remember, this pond has always been full of water and has had like plants and so on in there, reeds and all that sort of stuff. And I think, if my memory serves me correctly, this pond was cleared out as part of the Esso pipeline sort of payback to the community. So I think Esso, if I might have this wrong, I seem to remember somewhere it's saying that Esso were going to pay to have this pond, pay the local authority to sort this pond out here. And residents are wondering when it's going to be filled back up with water again. Now it turns out, so I put in an inquiry into Surrey Heath Borough Council. Let me just flip the camera around so you can see the pond. I put in a query to Surrey Heath Borough Council to find out what was happening with this, because there's been a lot of work sort of to clean out the silt and the plants and all the rest of it, and you can see that's what's left, but there isn't really any water in there other than this bit here. There's some ducks there over there. I don't know if you can see that in the centre of my frame. So some residents are just wondering what's going on. So I put in a query to Surrey Heath Borough Council, and they did come back to me very quickly to explain that actually this pond here is never meant to be full with water. It's actually a balancing pond, and it's a flood mitigation measure. It's meant to be like this. And before, the reason why it was full of water and because there was loads of plants in it is because it hadn't really been cleared out in a very long time. So what you see right now is actually how it's meant to be. And then if we get a very heavy rainfall, and there is some water actually coming, you can see here. So that, let me just point the camera down. Hang on a second. I'm at the edge of my gimbal here. Hang on, there you go. So you can see there's water running in. And that's probably coming from over the road there somewhere. Let's see if I can get the gimbal back in its place. There you go, that's better. So yeah, it's obviously coming from over there somewhere. There's a sort of drainage pipe that runs from over there down into here. And actually, if you look on the other side of the pond there, there's also a drainage pipe over there, and there's probably others that feed into this off the estates. And this all forms part of the Blackwater Valley Flood Mitigation Scheme. And on the other side there, so you can see, I don't know if you can see actually, but there's a grate there. So when this fills up with water, when there's heavy rainfall and all the water runs off, all sort of through the drainage ditches, comes into this pond. And then on the other side, let me just walk over here so you can see, there is a stream. And this is a drainage ditch basically, and there's loads of these in the area, especially around here. There's loads of them, these drainage ditches here. There you go. So it runs out of the balancing pond and sort of slow releases it into the river Blackwater. So yeah, what you see here is actually how it's meant to be. It's in its correct state. And may not, I can understand that some residents might think that it doesn't look as pretty as it did before because you can't see all the plants and all the rest of it. But actually those plants and all the silt and everything underneath actually was starting to get in the way of doing what this balancing pond is meant to do. So I hope that explains it. I'm no drainage expert or flood expert or anything, but I hope I've explained that in simple enough terms. But yeah, this is how it's meant to be.